Thank the honourable gentleman for that intervention. I agree with him to the extent that we have to do everything possible to avoid a disastrous no-deal exit. This SI does not do that. The extension agreed by the Council in the UK does that. This SI ensures that our domestic legislation aligns with what's already been agreed and doesn't create legal confusion. It's certainly the case, Mr. Speaker, that no one, including those who have no problem with an extension, expected that this government would fail so miserably that an extension of any kind would be required. But it was always a possibility, Mr. Speaker. That is precisely why the EU withdrawal bill, at least in its original form, was drafted to provide for circumstances in which a withdrawal agreement came into force later than the 29th of March following an extension. As the government itself put it at the time in its delegated powers memorandum, and I quote, "Exit day will be dependent on the withdrawal negotiations with the EU." As my right honourable friend, the member for Wallasey, has already commented upon, it was the government's decision to play politics with the issue of exit day for the purposes of our domestic legislation, constraining the flexibility provided for in the original drafting of the bill by putting a fixed date and exit time on the face of it in a vain attempt to curry favour with the hardliners on their own benches. That means we require a statutory instrument in the form that is before us. That said, it remains the case that it is simply not reasonable to question the legitimacy of the government's actions in agreeing to an extension to the Article 50 process, or the fact that this regulation has sequentially followed that agreement. More than.